There are mysterious things out there in this world, in different countries, in different locations, things that are unexplained, things that we see out of the corner of our eyes. Are they clowns? No. This is our episode on cryptids.
I'm Justine, aka JustineUFF.
I'm Emma, aka Emma of the Impact, aka Kinder Trauma the Clown.
And I'm Crystal, aka Creepin, it's spooky.
As you can see, we did clown makeup for today's final Halloween makeup episode. This is by far my favorite makeup we've done. I want to wear this all the time. I want to now be a clown. It was a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of this. But we're not talking about clowns today because that would have been too on the nose. Instead, we're talking about cryptids. And cryptids are one of my favorite things in horror mythos. I love the idea of cryptids. I love hearing about them and all the different stories and their
What's your favorite
regions.
cryptid? What's your favorite
Bigfoot,
cryptid? What?
Sasquatch. I'm from the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned the Mongolian death worm. I don't really know the Mongolian death worm.
Okay,
I don't know
so
that
the
either.
Mongolian death worm is the one that I got on the cryptid filter on TikTok. It was the first one I got, and I was like, "Can I
There's
get
a Mongolian death worm on TikTok?
It looks like a penis." I was like, "I don't want this one."
Does it look
So I
like a
redid
penis,
it.
or does it just look like a worm,
Huh.
Justine?
Yes, it's peach, flesh toned.
Yeah, but does it have
wormy.
like a head that's shaped that way?
Yeah, it's got like a little starfish head.
Oh,
A starfish head? What? What?
a starfish? Wait, what?
Starfish?
Yeah.
I'm confused. Whoa. Justine, I don't know.
I'll put
the
it right
menu.
here. Okay, you guys will
A
get to see it
starfish-
when we put this on
A
YouTube.
starfish head? I've never seen that in my life. And I used to be a nursing assistant. I've seen a lot of private areas.
I've never seen a Mongolian death worm either.
I've never seen a penis that looks like a starfish.
I just wanted you to say
Oh
that.
my.
Like,
Darn it.
this is why I feel right at home in clown makeup.
We're less prepared than usual for this episode, and in combination of just a busy schedule, and also there aren't a lot of very good cryptid movies. I'm just gonna say Mothman Prophecies is one we're definitely gonna talk about that we all watched. Then I could talk about Boggy Creek briefly, Boggy Creek 2 for our Misties out there. The last broadcast, which I know Crystal also watched.
I watched that too. Not recently. I didn't rewatch it, but I have seen
And
it.
you both watched Troll Hunter.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm struggling to remember anything else.
You didn't watch Troll Hunter either?
I didn't
I've
watch
seen
Troll
it.
Hunter.
but not for a
I
while.
started to watch Willow Creek today again, which
Oh,
is a
that one too.
rewatch. So I've seen that one. That
I've
one's
seen,
found
I've
footage.
seen that a long time ago. Or Exists.
Yeah.
I saw that a long time ago.
I've seen Exists. I've seen all of the Bigfoot ones. So I've also seen Boggy Creek, and there's another one that has
Harry
a
and the
little bit
Hendersons?
more
Harry and the Hendersons.
boinking happening. Was it Primeval?
No, it's Harry and the Hendersons.
Primeval.
It's Harry and the Hendersons. Go! Just go! I love
Yeah,
John Lithgow in the
that's
movie.
right. Harry from Harry and the Hendersons definitely boinks one of the people in that.
What?
Really?
I didn't say anything like that.
I
Oh.
was saying that. I was saying the movie that I was trying to think of. There's a little going on with the not consensually.
Was this a standard
Huh.
film, or was this more
think
of
it was-
independent on XXS?
No,
or-
Primal Rage. That's what it's called.
We had a discussion in our Discord. Someone just asked, who's an actor you can't stand? For no reason particular, just an actor you can't stand. My grandmother has a long list of actors she can't stand for no reason, and Richard Gere is one of them. And she says, I don't trust him. Those beady little eyes. So she always says, I don't trust him with those beady
They're
little
kind of
eyes.
soulless, aren't they?
I have I don't have any feelings about Richard Gere, but she's like,
Me
"These
neither."
beady little eyes. She talks about him like he's a serial
He was
killer.
a good husband in this movie, though. He was a good husband.
He was. This is
He
a
was
sad
fine.
movie.
It's a sad
It is.
movie. I don't know anything about Richard Gere. I've always enjoyed him in movies. I can't I always think of my grandmother saying those beady little eyes. What is he up to?
I don't know.
Being beady.
B&B.
I like Mothman Prophecies. This movie,
Mhm.
I forgot how much I liked this movie until rewatching it. And I was rewatching it on the treadmill, and I still had to really pay attention because it just sucks you in. It's a very interesting story. But I love that investigative thriller vibe in horror. What happens where there's like a reporter or a cop who's digging into something that most
Mhm.
people would be like, whatever, they're crazy and just leave alone. I love those kind of movies. And also Laura Linney, she's a
Love her.
goddess. Love
Uh,
her.
one thing that I really like about Mothman Prophecies, which is subtle and really adds to the atmosphere, is the camera is usually to Richard Gere, whoever the main person of the scene is, which is usually Richard Gere, and his beady little eyes, is up higher. It's as if we're like the Mothman himself, or the
Where, yeah,
idea of the
POV.
Mothman, where we're kind of above and observing. And like, the movie, I think, really. It's based on a true story and a true investigation about this writer, and there's a last podcast on the left episode about it.
Of course
That's
there
real.
is.
It's really good. They go really in depth. It really feels like we get a lot of perspective of the Mothman, even though the Mothman isn't technically in it that much. I really like how they go through a lot of different avenues of what the Mothman could be, whether it's metaphor for this foreboding feeling, dread, and premonition that we feel within ourselves, or angels, or aliens, or who knows. I
There,
like
yeah,
that.
there is such good implications on what it could be. Like, I love how the nurse was like, "Oh, she was drawing angels." He looks at it, and they do kind of look like angels.
No, no, no.
But I also remembered while watching this how much creepy drawings freak me out. Like people who like quickly sketch like eerie
Do you
looking
want to pull up
images
some of
that
your
could be like
daughter's drawings?
interpreted.
Because I love your daughter. Your daughter is extremely talented, but there's some drawings she's shown us, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'd be afraid there's something in my house. It's not your
Yeah.
daughter that's for scary. It's like, what is she seeing and where?
Yeah.
Ah, yes!
That's a cryptid.
That's a
Lovely.
cryptid. Oh, this is Canada Dry, by the way, for Twitch. This is not alcohol.
Yeah, creepy drawings are really awesome in movies. I love when they're included, and this one has plenty of creepy drawings. But some of them like are so cool looking because you have the classic idea of the Mothman with like beady red eyes and like a mothy buggy head with like antennae, yeah, and the wings.
He looks like an insect.
It looks
He
like,
looks-
in your eyes today, it looks like a moth.
when you get to the bottom of some of these images where it looks like you can see like the Mothman got closer to her and it has hands like a face, freaky imagery. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you read into it? What do you think is the truth?
For the
Both of you.
Mothman?
In the movie, yeah.
I think it's like the number 23.
What's the number 23?
Oh.
Like a lot of people trying to draw conclusions and make an understanding out of something going on in a town where they're drawing a lot of connections to a lot of coincidences. And then something bad happens and they just like, that was it. That was the Mothman, man. He was telling you guys, he was trying to warn you. He's trying to warn you.
I don't know.
So the funny thing is, this takes place primarily around Point Pleasant, New Jersey, which is extremely like the town over from where my grandmother lives. So I just picture her seeing Richard Gere filming. She's like, "It's the Mothman, beady little eyes."
His beady little Richard
It'd be
Gere
cool
eyes.
if it was real. I think
That would be
it's the
cool.
Mothman. I like to believe in that. Or hope that it's real.
It would be nice if there was something beyond our comprehension. I mean, there are things, but I mean something more ethereal.
And this is why we'll all be doing the Ouija board because
I
don't
can't. I
believe in those
can't.
things.
I have to. I can't.
Why?
Okay.
What?
I might break my promise. Okay. Dad. No. Okay, you guys are laughing, but this is actually serious. It's not serious
Okay.
to me. Okay.
I'll be as serious as I can in clown makeup.
It's fine. I make fun makeup too. My dad worked as a psychic for quite some time. He believed in his abilities. I'm not saying he had abilities, but he believed in his own abilities to see certain things. He mostly did tarot. But apparently, we did Ouija with a girlfriend once and she got possessed. I swear to God, this is his story. I did not witness this. I don't know the details. I'm not saying it's true. It probably fucking isn't. She probably was like very extra. But I promised him that I would never do a Ouija board, and he's dead now. I'm not because of a Ouija board. Something totally unrelated. Totally
my God.
unrelated to a Ouija board. So I just feel like I should keep like one of the only promises my dead father, who never asked me to do like anything.
That's why I'm doing the Ouija board.
Yeah.
Y'all
No,
are
but
just witnessing,
We're
and I'm
punts.
going to get possessed.
how could you do
if
a
anything
Ouija board
happens.
by yourself? There
She's
needs to
not
be-
allowed to. I already told her that she's not allowed to do it by herself, but she's doing it.
You have to do it with. What's the point? You have to have two people with the thing. You can't do it with just one person.
Why not?
You can,
Because-
you're not supposed to.
Rules?
Yeah.
No, it just won't work.
Yes.
Totally. There is rules. There are rules. You're never
Did
supposed
you
to do it
watch
alone.
the movie Ouija or Witchboard with Tawny Katane. There are rules.
There
Yes.
are rules.
I got to watch Witchboard with Tawny Katane. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had. It was really cool.
I think you should still though, because
I
that
can
could
do
be for a
whatever
really
I want.
fun. Think of how cool that stream would be.
Give us your state in the United States, unless you're Canadian.
Whoa. That's what the Canada
Well,
hate.
Canada
just
up
playing.
there. Canada. You have Wendigos. Wendigos are in northern Canada.
And
that
you have
area.
Bigfoot.
We have Bigfoot as well, yeah.
Yeah.
On the West Coast.
New York.
Look up my state. What's in my state? I think it's some weird elf thing. Look up my state.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
The one I got was not the Mongolian thing. It was Sinkhole Sam from Kansas. That's what it was.
Oh,
New York.
New York. You're right below me. I'll check.
Inspire you. New Hampshire. You got the Wood Devils of Coos County.
Yeah, that's it. Pretty lame.
He looks like a funky little mischievous guy, a little elf.
It's me.
A little
It
gremlin.
says, although wood devils more likely to scarper at a.
Are you okay?
I'm going to read this and then I'm going to reinterpret it for you guys because that's not written.
Thank
Again,
you.
maybe it's just a Sasquatch. Why do they keep saying that about the. You guys are
They're
really
supposed to be
diminishing the
little.
value of other people's cryptids.
They're supposed to be little.
God.
Huh.
According to eyewitnesses. Okay, wood devils, they're good at blending in with their surroundings. You
Mhm.
might walk on one before you even saw it.
Oh wow, how scary.
They describe them as more than 7 feet tall, covered in
what?
grayish hair.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
That doesn't
None
make
of
any
it. That doesn't make any sense.
Well,
You won't see it. And
I
you'll
guess
step
it looks
on
like
it.
a tree, so you might step on his foot. Like,
his little roof. Ooh.
Yeah,
oh,
the
I
last
like
sighting.
New York.
Move on from Emma's lame cryptid in New Hampshire.
They don't have a lot of
No.
information on this website, so I'll have to dive in a little deeper somewhere else. Okay, New York, you have Champ, which looks like a Nessie knockoff.
That's in Lake Chamberlain.
Champlain Lake.
Champlain, right?
Yeah.
I've been there.
Captain Crumb in 1819 of the ship Buluwada
What?
Bay.
Captain Crunch?
Crumb.
I heard you.
Oh.
He saw a black monster that stretched 187 feet long.
That's very specific.
It had a head like a seahorse and eyes the color of a peeled onion.
A
That's
bunion?
extremely
White?
specific.
White?
A white head? Yeah.
Who wrote these? Wow.
That's
it also
worse
had
than what
3
we got up
teeth.
here.
3 teeth. That's it. Very specific.
I
3
hate it.
teeth. Peeled onion eyes. 3
So is
teeth.
it like 2 teeth up here and then just one
Seahorse head.
comes up?
It had a white
Oh.
star on its forehead.
This thing sounds.
We
very
are
stupid.
sucking at this episode, but we appreciate everyone this year.
That is a terrible cryptid.
We
Nessie
talked about the
knockoff with
Mothman.
like only 3 teeth. All right. What do we got? What's next? A, Pennsylvania.
Doesn't the Jersey Devil sometimes go to Pennsylvania?
We're about to find out.
Goes to the
So there are a few good Jersey Devil movies and
Oh,
something
there is
interesting.
the Pine Barrens in Pennsylvania?
No, what's
Okay.
in New Jersey?
So Pennsylvania has the squonk.
Squonk.
Less X-Files, more Rick and Morty. Okay. Its superpower seems to be the ability to escape captivity by crying itself into a pool of water and dripping away. According to witnesses, the squonk has saggy, ill-fitting skin covered in warts. It's very
hate
ashamed of its appearance. That's like cries.
What? That sounds
Good
absolutely
lord.
heinous. Gross.
So pathetic. Oh my god.
All the other
Good.
ones are, is it a Sasquatch?
Yeah.
At least this one's very original. All of the others look like Sasquatches. Oh, there's a chupacabra, which is one of my favorite cryptids.
That's more like Mexico and South America, Central America. South
Yeah,
America,
but also Texas.
also Texas. So the Jersey Devil, since we're in that region of the squonk. So I don't know if anyone has seen the Bad Ben films.
Yes, I love those movies.
Dude, isn't that fucking weird?
They're so bad, but they're so good.
They are. It's so weird. It's so the
Oh.
Bad Ben movies are basically a guy change up a little bit, but it's basically a
Mhm.
guy, a very normal, everyday looking guy that moves into a house and then he just like throws dolls and stuff. The idea is that he's being tormented by the Jersey Devil, or like what's trying to reborn as the Jersey Devil, but it sure doesn't feel that way. I don't know, Crystal. How do you
No.
describe those movies?
Honestly, the whole time I was watching, I just thought that he was just like haunted by something. But I will say that those are some of the only movies that have gotten me to jump so bad.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
There's one scene where he's got it's like a music box or something sitting on a table. I think it's a music box. I can't remember. I haven't watched this in a while. But it's sitting on the table and something happens and I jumped. That's the most I've jumped in a horror movie in probably 10 years. I don't know.
So we're gonna
I
put that as
don't
a
know
quote.
why.
We're gonna contact because it's just like some dudes that make these movies. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna contact them and have that put on their quote box. Crystal
Yeah.
from the aka Creepin' and Spooky from the Let Us In podcast. This
Yeah.
movie made me jump more than any other horror movie ever.
If I can find the scene, we can put that up. Okay. This guy inspired me to make my own found footage movie though, because
Oh
he
my
did
god,
this with
that's
like
so cute.
he did this with like $300. He just got some security cameras and put them up around this house, and I was like, I can do that. I can pull something like this up. So that's what made me want to do my own. And it's literally I can thank Bad Ben.
Have you seen Bad Ben, Justine, or heard of it?
No, but now
Oh
I
my
have
God.
to.
On Tubi. Just go on Tubi. There's a billion.
I say,
Okay.
Justine,
You'll
it's
hate
good
them.
for you
No.
to see what it is, but it is not for you. I'm gonna say that.
No, yeah, you'll hate them.
You'll hate them, but I think they're charming. I think they're charming. Good for them.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like
love
they
this
are.
they made a,
podcast.
they made a movie. That's so cute. It's like that. But
Yeah.
it has some good moments.
But it's also got he's like the main character, but he's just like, get out of my house. Like, he doesn't care. He's not scared. And I think that's the best part is because
He's just like
walking around
annoyed the
house.
whole time.
He's
It's
just
really
annoyed. Yeah.
annoyed.
He's just like, it's so funny. There's a lot of humor.
That's hilarious.
I had a marathon into the medulla effect or butterfly effect. I
Mandela.
can't remember.
Mandela.
Ever.
Yeah, the Mandela effect. I think I got up to that one, too.
Medulla? I think it's a breast pump.
What? That's a breast pump? I wouldn't know. I haven't had a baby. Anyway.
I'm sorry.
So yeah,
Okay.
that's for those that might be into that kind of thing. Check out the Bad Ben movies on Tubi. They're actually
But if we're
quite
gonna
charming.
talk about the Jersey Devil, we might as well talk about the last broadcast because that's
Which
also
is-
about
Mm.
Jersey
It's
Devil.
before it came out in 1998, before the Blair Witch Project, and it's a found footage film.
It is. It did not do as well.
I don't know, guys.
One of my favorite. I learned this from the last podcast on the left again, but they did an episode on the Jersey Devil. So before there were tweets and retweeting and tweet wars and all that kind of stuff, there were pamphlets. So you had to print an entire pamphlet to have a hissy fit with people. Andrew Leeds, the guy that is the head of the family in New Jersey, that is like the family that is attributed with the curse of the Jersey Devil. I can't even remember exactly how it came to be, but it's true, was in a pamphlet war, which is basically like a Twitter fight with Benjamin Franklin. So they would just write insults to each other through published pamphlets they'd hand out to people. And one of Benjamin Franklin's favorite jokes is that Andrew Leeds was dead, and he just like published, it's absurd that someone keeps writing pamphlets in his name when the man's surely dead. And then when Andrew Leeds did die, it's not related to the Jersey Devil curse itself, but it's just really funny to me. He's like, it's absurd that people, if he had died, when he had died so many years ago, it's like Benjamin Franklin wouldn't fucking let it go. The dude's dead, and he's like, gonna write a funny tweet about it. That's funny to me. Like, I fucking love that. That's my kind of history. I fucking love that stuff.
Petty history. Yes.
Petty history.
All right.
The last broadcast is pretty good. You probably
And
wouldn't
it's
like
about
it.
the Pine Barrens Jersey Devil.
So about the tenacity of you've seen I never remember this name, the movie where they're in the asylum and they're doing like
Session
a ghost
9.
hunters thing.
Mm.
No, the
Grave Encounters.
Grave Encounters. It's like Grave
Mhm.
Encounters, but an earlier version of Grave Encounters, but the Jersey Devil, like the tenacity of trying to find something, and I'm not quite sure if like it exists, but you're trying to get like the sensationalism around it, and then something bad happens. And
Have you
it's
seen
this-
Willow Creek?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's that vibe too. Like, dude is like
Similar.
hardcore believer. His girlfriend's kind of
Bigfoot.
not. Yeah, in Bigfoot. And
That
like,
ending's spooky. That's like a really creepy ending in the end of
tent
Willow
scene?
Creek. Yes.
yeah,
well done.
once the movie like gets to the woods, and like
Yeah.
they're actually out there,
And is
and
that just
stuff
them
starts
fighting
popping
at rest
off.
stops?
Oh my god, like they're insufferable up until they get
Yeah.
out there, and then they're sweet to each other once they're in the middle of the woods. But like, he's really annoyed that she doesn't take it seriously, and she's like really annoyed that he doesn't care about her career and doesn't want to be a part of his movie because it'll mess with her career, and she isn't taking it serious. They're both assholes, in other words.
Yeah.
Like they should not be together. He's like,
I
I would never live in LA. And then he's like, marry me? And then she's like, how about we move to LA together? And he's like, okay.
There's a lot of filler.
I don't remember them as much as assholes, just people that are really just freaking tired of each other. They're just like about to break up, and everything about the other one is just intolerable.
Yeah. So once they do get out there, I do the quirky cuteness of like, the Sasquatch stuff in like the towns and stuff. It's
Oh,
cute
the
because
touristy stuff.
Yeah, that's very familiar. I have that in
Yeah.
all of the like little towns up here. So
Yeah, it would be
the
like a
Puyallup Fair has a
Bigfoot.
giant. It's a Sasquatch is like the mascot of our state
Yeah.
fairs. Like
It's like
it's
they'll have
everywhere.
a Bigfoot or a cryptid museum, but it's really a little like set up in the back of a shop kind of thing.
Yeah, it's literally like every rest stop has like little stuffy Sasquatches you can buy, and like
I did a road trip from BC down to California, and I don't think I went to one shop that didn't have a Bigfoot something in it between Washington and Oregon.
yeah,
It's
even in
crazy.
Seattle, like downtown Seattle, all of the shops
Oh, yeah.
have cryptid style stuff. It's either aliens or Sasquatches.
Yeah.
And in fact, that's why I nicknamed my daughter Sasquatch when she was a baby. And I did her nursery in Pacific Northwest theme. So there's like camping stuff, trees and stuff. And like I got her a bunch of stuffies. Got this one fat Sasquatch, which is just like a ball shaped. And he has a little it's so cute. It's super adorable. But that was like her theme. Like it was all about like Sasquatches and stuff.
Yeah.
There's like little Sasquatch paintings and stuff in her room where like anytime there's a good scene, there's a little
Cute.
Bigfoot in there. And
He's so
That's
cuddly.
cute.
Or
He
she's
is.
so cuddly. Look at me in the patriarchy. Bigfoot person is very cuddly.
Bigfoot person.
Yeah, so it is my favorite cryptid. So I do watch any movie that comes out that is about Bigfoot, which is
Mhm.
why I ended up watching Primal Rage,
I don't think I've seen that one.
which
I
had
don't
a
think I have.
fairly decent budget. It's got some like fairly well-known people in it, but there's like a rape scene or an essay scene, excuse me,
Sounds very needed in a
with
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Does Bigfoot what? Bigfoot's
Bigfoot
the rapist?
essays a girl. Yeah, like his whole thing is he kills people that come into his territory and takes women back to his cave to mate with them. That
Oh.
was like the whole setup. Necessary? Like,
Yeah, a little bit.
Boggy
so
Creek
that's
is
Primal Rage.
Bigfoot. It's not Bigfoot, but Bigfoot-esque Southern Bigfoot. I didn't do enough research on it before tonight because
Which one? Boggy Creek?
Yeah, and the Boggy Creek 2 is riffed by Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Are you talking about from the 70s or the 2010 one?
No, we're not talking about 2010 here. Neither one. And Boggy Creek 2, there's this hillbilly guy that has like Bigfoot babies stowed away for no reason. His name's Crenshaw, and he like invites people up to his house to see his little creature.
The Legend of Boggy Creek has one of the coolest posters. I love the poster
It
on it
does.
so
It is a
much.
good poster.
It's cool.
But I don't think it's a bad one. That's a good Bigfoot movie. Like it's
not Bigfoot.
kind of a bar, right?
It's their Bigfoot.
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's not Bigfoot.
But if you look it up, it's called something specific. It's like their
Oh.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, that on this cryptid list, it'll probably say could be a Bigfoot.
It's just my boyfriend. Come on.
My
boyfriend does not look like a Bigfoot.
Oh, so it's Arkansas, the Boggy Creek Monster. That's
No, it starts with an S or
the
something.
Fooky Monster.
Squatch.
The
Sasquatch.
Fooky Monster. The Swamp Stalker.
It's
got a
Harry.
lot of names.
Harry and the Hendersons.
Harry.
It's got a lot of
Swamp
names.
ape.
Is that folk monster? The folk monster? Or is that fuck?
I don't know. It's a Bigfoot.
Like-
Okay. It's
Yeah.
a Bigfoot. All right. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's Bigfoot. So I love the cover. I want that poster. I think I might have to get that poster for my house.
Another Mystery Science Theater riff film of the brilliant cinema that is Cry Wilderness, which I believe is a Canadian film. Correct me if I'm wrong. It is a really terrible Bigfoot movie. It's like meant as a children's movie where Bigfoot and this child bond over public domain rock and roll and Coca-Cola. and it's quite strange.
Random.
There's a family
Why? What does Mr. Bigfoot have anything to do with that?
Yeah.
he befriends the child.
And gets into it, and that's how they
And
bond.
there's also
It's not
a
like he was already in the
random.
woods
Okay,
listening to rock music.
there's also
Huh.
a random tiger loose. That is another part of the movie. Yeah, a tiger is also loose, and there's this one
What?
of my favorite scenes in this movie. Is there's this guy that's like hunting Bigfoot, and the child that is friends with Bigfoot
Yeah.
is it's the hunter who he doesn't know this hunter. He just like, shows up, right? The kid doesn't know this
Mhm.
guy, and the hunter's an adult. Obviously, he's supposed to be macho. Justine probably would think he's hot. Just joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
But probably not
Joking.
wrong.
Anyway, this kid, they're like out in the woods, and the kid and the hunter see this big, literally a big foot in the mud, like a Bigfoot track. And the guy, like the kid is just like, the guy looks like, we're not gonna tell him. This is gonna be a secret between you and me. And it's like, you don't. Whenever an adult says that to a child, it's upsetting. It's like,
Icky.
that's one of my favorite parts of the movie, and it has a lot of random stock footage of just
The
random
icky
animals.
part is my favorite part.
It's my favorite part. It's so great. It's not meant to be that way. He's not. But that's why I love it. It's like, this is just a secret between me and you, kid. And but the
Huh.
kid's worried about Bigfoot, not his own safety, unfortunately. And there's a tiger, and the tiger ends up in a coal mine.
I like the movie Exists. I think Exists is a pretty decent
That's a fun one.
Bigfoot movie. I think that's a really fun one. And it's
Yeah.
found footage. Right?
Ish, yeah.
Yeah.
Seen it.
Like it's got a lot of found footage
haven't
moments.
seen it?
There's
Oh,
a really
that's
good trailer scene where they're like in the camper or whatever. That's a really good scene. I really like that part. That's
I like how
like,
vicious Bigfoot is in
he's
this
so vicious. He's very
Super
scary.
vicious.
Very
Yeah.
scary. Yeah, I like that. And it's like daylight that they're like
Yeah.
getting attacked, which makes it even scarier sometimes.
Yeah.
So I think they did a good job with that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I recommend that one.
We need more cryptid movies, to be honest. Like,
Yeah,
'cause
we do.
We do.
these are
Something
easy
difficult.
stories, aren't they?
No, they're not easy stories. I think part of it is there's another movie called Wendigo about a mother and child, and he's a little boy and he gets lost in the cold, and it's kind of metaphoric. It's fairly good. It's all right. But the thing is, a lot of these stories are very regional, and it's funny to me, which I was meant as a question in a way to you guys, that now that regional stories are more accessible to all of us, it's funny that there aren't more cryptid stories, but some of them are tied to certain cultures. Skinwalkers in particular. I accidentally started watching Skinwalker Ranch, which is a documentary about Skinwalker Ranch. I'm like, shit.
That's the only one I've seen. I didn't know that
Yeah,
there
me
was
too.
a non-documentary
Oh, there isn't?
version.
Oh, that's it? Oh, I thought there was a movie.
Yeah, the documentary is the only thing I know about. But
Part of the Native North American community in some
yeah,
some
like
spaces.
Wendigos.
Not as much
But
as
they're not the
Wendigos,
same
more
creature.
so. No, not at all. No, so people that are from my limited understanding, skinwalkers are people that they used to be people and then they did something egregious, like Judas, where they betrayed a brother or something like that, maybe ate flesh.
Ate from the human flesh.
Maybe that's not required, but they basically become a witch and they can train a witch loosely. Again,
I've heard I've heard
limited
witches.
knowledge. Yeah, witches.
I think
they're
yeah.
basically evil witches that are shapeshifters. That's what a skinwalker is.
I've
That
also
is
heard that they're not typically like considered as part of the cryptid universe. I've heard
Yeah,
that
it's
they're
dicey.
separated. Yeah,
It's dicey. And
It's
again,
toss-up.
very limited knowledge. And also, I think that a lot of stuff about skinwalkers and some other cryptids related to the Native North Americans is supposed to be private, meant for everyone else to know about. So there is that. I don't know.
Also
I don't know if
generationally passed down, right? Like those are very close stories that are passed down but from culture. It's not something that like we freely talk about our culture. Like we can't shut the fuck up about our cultures. One that I think maybe you watched, Crystal. I swear I saw it. You haven't seen it though, right? Emma Dyatlov Pass incident or whatever.
Oh, the Dyatlov Pass?
I've seen it.
Dyatlov. You have? Okay. Love that movie. I thought that
really
movie
good
was
one.
so
Is that a
cool.
cryptid movie?
It is, because originally they thought
it
it was
really
about
happened.
There's like the creature things at the end.
I thought it was more alien related. It's like Mothman. Like it could be a bunch.
No, I think it's actually dimensions is what is revealed. Like they have like there's like a thin veil inside that bunker or something, but it changes people. But it's based off of the idea that there could be like an abominable snowman up there. There's like a way line or something. Like there's a bunch of myths about that area. And this film is basically us seeing what actually happened. So they could go anywhere with it, but it is technically a cryptid film because it's based off of the idea of
Is it technically found
something
footage
weird
too?
happening in a very
A little
specific
bit.
area. It is. It
Yeah,
is
there's
found footage,
found.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's
Justine,
one of my
found
top
footage
13
movie.
found footage. It
Like
was
a
tied
found
for
footage
13.
movie.
I've talked about 3 that I liked today. Okay.
This is a good
I
movie
feel like
because the actual Dyatlov Pass incident is terrifying and really
is.
Yeah.
freaking sad. And so that's why I
Yeah.
really like this one because I
People
know
were
they
found
kind
with their
of
skin off,
go-
right? Like some of them.
and their eyes missing,
And
their
like
tongues
Ugh.
missing.
far apart, like they look like they were
Yeah.
running and trying to get
Yeah.
away. Some of them look like they undressed before they did.
Yeah.
So a lot of people
Well,
believe
the
it could have been.
hypothermia.
A lot of people believe that it could have been a gas, like noxious
Mhm.
gas that came out of the ground or something during like maybe an avalanche or something, and it settled in where their camp was because they were in a wind protected area. So like gas just settled in on them and made them bonkers. And some people believe like they were experimented on by like the Russians. Some people believe they were attacked by an abominable snowman. There's all sorts of theories, and I think
Yeah.
this film handled it so cool.
Yeah, I agree.
They took some of those theories and mashed them together so that they all seemed like they make sense. I
Yeah.
don't know. It had such good payoff too. Like I loved the minute that they entered that bunker, like that whole movie just worth it.
It's
Like,
wild. Yeah.
wild and so scary. Some of those scenes are freaky.
They
And
are.
what do you do? Because you run out of the bunker,
Right.
you're just in the snow. Like,
Yeah.
where do you
I
go?
know.
There's
I
nowhere
love
to
settings like
hide.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's freaky. So
It is.
I'm a big fan of that movie. So I was excited that you watched it because I do consider it a cryptid film. Highly recommend that one.
Yeah.
It was really unexpected too. Like it's one of those kind of mumble gore films where they didn't really have a huge release or anything. Didn't
Yeah.
have a huge budget. They just stretched it.
They did.
And the characters aren't completely insufferable, which is nice.
No, they're not.
Yeah. What else did you guys watch?
I watched a bunch of just like B-rated Bigfoot movies, and I don't know why I wasted so much time with them, but I was on a roll on Tubi. I couldn't. I couldn't get
Tubi's
enough.
the freaking best. Tubi's the best.
Oh, I love Tubi so much. If you guys don't have Tubi,
They
go
pay
get
their
it.
directors more. They pay their film
Yeah.
creators more per view than most streaming services. And
I
they're
watched
free.
one called Freak. It's less than an hour long, and it's this. They do like this. It's so low budget, and it looks terrible. But there's a puppet creature.
Oh my god, I'm in. Oh my god, a
Oh,
puppet.
yeah, I think
fucking
you'd
love
appreciate it. They have the best kills and some of the goriest, like low budget practical effects.
I
Highly
love
recommend
it.
it. Yeah, it's very well done. But
Another one that I watched was Indigenous. I don't know if you guys have seen
oh,
that
I
one.
haven't seen that one.
That
No.
one's a
I am
chupacabra
still-
one.
I'm still on a high that Crystal likes Bad Ben too.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, another cryptid adjacent, I guess, YouTube was the Backrooms. That's also very cryptid like,
Oh,
where
yeah.
you
Oh,
have
it's not a
like
cryptid though.
That one's creepy.
I consider it a cryptid. Cryptids are
What?
just unexplained regional things that happen.
Oh, I
Like,
thought it was
creatures.
beings.
no, it can be, but like vortex, like the Oregon vortex is a unexplained cryptid. Ley lines, anything like that. Leprechauns are cryptids.
Yeah, but they're a being.
Yeah, but then there's like the Fae, which covers quite a lot of things.
Yeah, but those
And
are beings.
Absentia is also considered a cryptid film. We love that one.
Love
Fun.
Absentia. It's one of
I
my
think
favorite Mike
typically-
Flanagan projects.
Yeah, and I think typically cryptids do have a being of some sort, but the Backrooms does. It has creatures in it. Like you end up in the Backrooms and there are creatures there that are trying to eat you. Have you guys seen The Hollow?
Is that the one with Ray Wise? I love that
Mm,
one.
I don't think so.
Oh, is
I
it
don't
an
think I've
Adam
seen
Green
that one.
movie?
No, it's Corin Hardy.
Mm-mm.
It's
No,
the
I
one
don't know.
about it's in Ireland and it's where they like dig up like some evil and by like messing
a
with
couple
their
at night?
land. Yes.
Oh, I have seen that one. I just don't remember much about it. Not in that way. I don't mean
What
anything
about
by
The
that.
Descent? The Descent is a cryptid.
No, it's not.
That's a good one.
I don't think
How is it not a cryptid?
I don't know.
There's
it just seems
legends
like-
about the caves around there, about like, not going into the caves because there's creatures.
I'm picky, but you guys go ahead. I'll try to. It's a great.
I feel like
I
it's just
love
like
the
an
set.
unexplainable creature, and I feel like
Yeah.
that counts. Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch the Leprechaun Origins?
I haven't seen that
No.
one actually.
No.
I
Is
feel like
Jennifer
that's one
Aniston
of
in
those.
it?
No. It literally has no connection to the Leprechaun films at all.
Is there a
I don't
leprechaun?
even
Oh.
know why they called it Leprechaun Origins. There is a leprechaun, and it's much creepier, like scarier. Like it's a much more serious
Is he still upset that people have his gold?
film. I think he's more upset that they just exist in the area.
Oh.
I don't remember them. I don't remember them taking any gold. I just think that they discover, like, they stumble upon him. But it's scary. I don't remember
Okay.
it being bad. I remember watching it and thinking, "Wow, this is actually freaky," and like completely disconnecting it from the original Leprechaun movies. But I think a lot of people struggled with accepting that film and taking it seriously because it was called Leprechaun Origins,
Yeah.
which I don't know why they called it that. It has nothing to do with the other films.
Yeah, it's way harder to take an Origins seriously when there's Leprechaun in the Hood and Leprechaun in space. How could you? Origins? What does that mean? What does that mean? We don't know where he is. He's not in space. He's not in the hood. We don't know.
Emma, would you count Rain of Fire as a cryptid?
I don't know. What is that?
With the dragons, they like dig up dragons that were like
I don't see the
cave.
dragons.
I don't know. I don't think a dragon's a cryptid.
Me
Oh.
neither.
But again, I can't tell you why though. Like why people don't see dragons now. Maybe that's why. Or unicorns.
I need
Like
to
we-
know why. Okay, I need to know where you're like. What is
Well,
your
dragons? Okay, I think it has to be something that still gets cited today. I think that's part of it, right? Do
None of
look
these
at-
technically get cited, really. I'm
you
sure
don't
people
know
say
that,
dragons.
Justine.
I'm
You don't
sure
know
that
that.
there are people who say they've seen a dragon. Okay, I'm sure. How do you know
A
that
lot of
the
these get
Loch
spotted.
Ness monster?
All right, chat. Are dragons and or unicorns, are either of them cryptids?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna say yes to all of those.
No,
I'm
cryptids.
saying yes to anything
This is just
unexplained that
chaos.
people
Do we go?
say
Okay,
exist.
Chubby Cabo agrees. He says nope. See,
No,
you
I
want to
don't
do
think so
Ouija
either.
by yourself. You think dragons and unicorns are cryptids. It's just chaos around here. And we're dressed as clowns and we're talking about
All
chaos.
of the chaotic ones. I have a very simple definition. You guys are picking and choosing.
I just said no to dragons and unicorns, but I agree with you on the descent, so I don't know.
Okay, here we go. This is where I'm going. I'm going straight to what is a cryptid? And we'll see what Google says. Merriam-Webster. Okay. Now, an
That's close.
animal such as Sasquatch or Loch Ness
Animal, not a
Monster
place or a concept.
that has been claimed to exist but never proven to exist.
Okay, I guess it could be dragon,
Dragons and
Dragon-
unicorns.
but there's like actual dragon creatures. So
What, like
I
a
don't know if that-
dinosaur?
like a
But
Komodo
unicorns
dragon?
are in the Bible. It's true, they are.
They call it a Komodo dragon because it looks like the myth of a dragon.
That's what
Not
I
because
mean.
It
Like
actually
they,
is a dragon.
no, but I'm saying though, if
It's not
if there's
breathing
stuff like that,
fire, flying.
okay, maybe not a fire breathing dragon, sure, but they kind of look like they could have evolved from dragons.
Oh, list of cryptids. Number 1, the Brosno dragon.
Yeah, but that's not dragons in general. That is
Yeah,
a specific...
I gotta see a photo of that.
I
Yeah.
need...
It just says a lake monster in
It could-
Russia.
Oh, it's a lake
Yeah,
monster! That
it's
again!
Called a dragon.
Yeah, but-
He isn't a freaking dragon.
Because
No.
they
A water
admitted that it wasn't
dragon.
real and they did it
A
for
water
tourism and it was
weird.
a dentist that took a picture of something. A lake monster is not a dragon. I'm sorry.
I agree. It's
Are
not.
we just going freaking crazy here?
Mind
What
you,
is
the lake
going on?
monster from where I'm from does look a lot like a dragon in pictures. Like that people draw of him has a very dragony face. But
He's
I
supposed to be like a dinosaur or something, isn't he?
a dinosaur? No, he's just a lake monster. I don't know.
Oh, he's just
Are you
He's a lake
here?
monster. I don't know.
7 species that used to be cryptids. Guess what's
Oh,
at the
I
top
just-
of this list?
Dragons?
And
Komodo
then-
dragon.
You know what I
See?
heard? Justine, you know what I heard you say? You know what I thought you said? You know what I
Platypus.
thought? You know what I thought you said? I thought you
What?
read Kevin Spacey's that used to be cryptids, and I'm like,
Kevin
what?
Spacey's.
7 species. The giant squid
Okay.
Oh.
and a kangaroo.
Kangaroos are the scariest thing on earth.
There's a whole story that if you listen to the last podcast on the left, where they actually got a kangaroo to
I'm
play the
saying this
Jersey
is the
Devil.
win.
I don't know. I don't know.
Dragons are cryptids.
No, they're not. Look it up. Look up are dragons cryptids?
Just did. There's one that is a freaking dragon. Dragon used to be a cryptid.
Yeah, I don't know. What we think about knights and
Are dragons cryptids category? Dragon and dragonoids in Cryptid Wiki. It has a whole
Yeah.
category.
Yeah, saying they're not exact.
Dragonoids or dragon-like creatures are. Oh, there's an ad.
Oh, it said that it was saying something that disagreed with you, right?
Are usually reptilian creatures with origins in supernatural belief and folk mythology. Also, pseudo-dragons encompass non-dragon but distinctly related species like, I'm not going to say that word,
So
basilisk
non-dragon
and
but
Jersey
related.
Devil.
So
These creatures
related
contain
to
dragon
dragons,
like
but
that was
dragon,
a
I'm hearing
separate. They were talking about three different
dragon-like.
things here. You're not listening.
I am listening.
Dragons and dragonoids, and then they started talking about pseudo dragons as well. Fall into the dragon
pseudo-dragon.
and dragonoids category. All right, they're all
Pseudo dragon is not a
counted.
dragon. That is
You're
a
not-
fake dragon.
That's a pseudo dragon, yeah.
yeah, which is in the dragons and dragonoids category.
Yeah, but it is the word pseudo implies that it is not a dragon.
There are three different things that we're talking about here. You know what? You Google
None
it.
of them are dragons. They're
Ladies,
dragon-like.
stop
I keep on
fighting,
hearing
stop fighting.
dragon-like. I keep on hearing
Dragon
pseudo-dragon.
zoology and cryptozoology, as well as culture. There's a whole fucking book on it by Carl P. N. Schucker.
Don't know.
And we must take him seriously.
I feel like cryptozoology is like made up a little bit.
Is this man
It
saying?
literally is.
So I
Yeah.
still don't hear
Oh,
any
that's it.
words saying dragons are cryptids. It's like, oh, dragon-like creature.
You heard
or
it here first.
pseudo-dragon.
Justine is now a cryptozoologist, and I've declared myself an expert in cryptozoology. And dragons, unicorns, and backrooms
Whoa,
are.
whoa, whoa.
Not unicorns.
So
no.
first off, you read that cryptids are beings, which backrooms are not beings, as far as we know. And
Oh.
number thrice.
And I can say whatever I want because I'm the cryptozoologist here, okay?
You did not look up unicorns.
For fuck's sake.
This is a top-notch episode. I'm
Are
keeping all this in because we don't have
unicorns
much else.
real? No, are they cryptids?
They're in the
Okay.
Bible. It's real.
Unicorn cryptid wiki. In
But
mythology,
just
a
because it's a
unicorn.
cryptid wiki doesn't mean it's a cryptid.
Anybody can.
I'm
write that.
sorry, but where else are we gonna go to for cryptid expertise?
We need to buy that book.
But cryptid wiki is written by like any Joe
seriously.
Schmo that thinks they know about something. I could write a cryptid wiki entry about how they're totally
wait,
not.
Wait, Emma, how does one become an expert in cryptids?
There's one
Is
important
there-
word
is there
here.
A
No.
school?
Justine, there's some important words here when it comes to cryptozoology. Number one is research, and number two is experience. And
So, where does one research cryptids?
that's
it's
part of
not
the mystery, isn't
Cryptid
it?
wiki. Like,
It's part of the.
Well, they
it's part
probably
of the
look into
mystery.
like folklore and like all the mythology on it. They probably dig deep.
in mythology, a unicorn is simply an animal, most commonly seen as a horse with a single horn. Nearly
They
everyone
take
knows that two-horned animal with one horn that broke off and failed to grow is not a unicorn.
Yeah, I don't want to know what a unicorn is.
Beyond
I want to know if
this-
a unicorn is a cryptid.
I know what a unicorn is. It's not a cryptid.
Excuse me, I know enough about cryptozoology to know that
This
a
is a
unicorn
whole
is not
fucking
one.
article. Can you give me a second, Emma? Okay, unicorn sightings from many areas in the world have caught the attention of explorers and scientists for hundreds of years.
Okay.
I'm still not hearing if they're cryptids or not.
I'm not going to keep reading it for you.
You're the one making this argument, Justine, not me.
I don't need to make an argument. It's cryptozoology, whether the Bible's real.
Well, the Bible.
I just decided what I would categorize. That's
The
like saying,
Bible was written by men.
Emma, is this
What?
movie, is 7 horror?
Yes,
According to who?
me.
Okay, unicorns and dragons are cryptids. According to who? Fucking me. Like, it doesn't matter.
I feel like I've read a lot
That's
more
me.
books on horror
It's
movies
made
than I've
up.
read a lot more books about unicorns and dragons. I just think that's true.
You
I'm
think
putting
you've read
myself
more
on a limb.
books
I'm
on
making assumptions.
unicorns and dragons than me? The
No,
one
what
who
I'm no,
paints
shh.
miniature versions of them?
No, that's not what I said, Justine. What I said was, I think I've read more books about horror movies which are many, then you've read about unicorns and dragons, which I know is presumptuous of me.
Also, probably not true. I've read
Okay.
a lot of books about dragons and unicorns.
Okay, I
A
accept.
Did you guys
lot.
ever see The Last Unicorn? That movie was
I
scary.
Oh,
have.
it's so good. It's so
sad.
sad.
It
It's
also
such a dark,
know.
scary
has some
movie.
really like creepy consent stuff going on in it.
There's
it
some
does.
creepy stuff all throughout it. Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, for a kids movie, I was like, oh,
For a kids movie, yeah.
Anywho,
Yeah, it would
you
have.
guys are
7
just
would have been
simple
better
now.
if there was a cryptid in it. See,
We must
Kevin
have watched
Spacey comes
different
back
movies.
into it. You see again, he's back into it again. He is,
I'm sorry,
Kevin
I got you
Spacey's
guys
a
into
cryptid.
talking about 7 now. They are delicious with breading and a cup of marinara.
7 is one of my favorite movies. Oh, I love it.
Is it?
Unicorns do not equal cryptids. Most of the chat agrees with you, Emma.
I know.
And I still do not care and disagree with all of you.
I'm fine with that.
That's fine.
I'm mad
I'm
about it.
standing my ground on this made up thing. Thanks, guys.
I would respect your cryptozoologic beliefs.
Your expertise.
You guys watch Bray Road Beast? It's a documentary, isn't it?
It was.
It's a
I
slideshow,
never into it.
mostly.
It is kind of a slideshow.
Interesting.
I did
It's
watch
not
it.
bad. It's interesting. It's not interesting the second time around. It was more interesting the first time I watched it. Second time around, it's really boring.
I'll have to watch it.
And I haven't seen The Barons still, which has Stephen Moyer in it.
It's about the Jersey
I didn't get
Devil,
around to
I
that one
assume.
either.
It's not rated, so I just didn't get around to it.
I'm trying to think of what else was on your list.
Because I think a majority we've talked about previously, like Antlers. We can't really talk about
Yeah.
Ravenous because Crystal still hasn't seen it.
Blame me.
I blame Crystal. But that one's fantastic if we want to get into some cryptid folklore. But did you cover this? Would Krampus be a cryptid? Yes.
No.
Yes.
Is Santa Claus a cryptid?
Absolutely is.
No.
Oh
Yep.
my god. You're just making stuff.
Abby is. We all.
No, I don't consider Krampus a cryptid.
Wendigo is actually a pretty good
How is-
movie.
How is Krampus not a cryptid?
Pretty good.
No.
How is he a cryptid?
He comes around out of what, the Black Forest to punish
What are you
children.
talking-
Any
Like
mermaid
Burman-
movie is a
Burman?
cryptid. I agree.
I disagree with that too.
I find it really odd that you agree that mermaids are a cryptid, but not unicorns.
I was always under the assumption. No, never mind. I don't think mermaids are cryptids.
Cryptids.
They just want to be part of our world.
What the hell are you
Oh,
eating?
Did you guys watch the new? Did you guys watch the new Little
Dip.
Mermaid trailer?
Dip. It's almost empty.
I hate whatever this is. Gross.
There's nothing left of my chips, and there's nothing left of my dip.
Dip.
There's like,
Oh, that grossed me out.
I'm a
I
cryptid.
wasn't the one eating it though.
I know. It just reminded me of a movie where they do that, and then they're like,
Oh my
I
god.
can't. No, gross me out. No.
Okay.
Now my fingers are dirty.
Mermaid. Sea monsters are, so why not mermaids? Mermaids are, so why not unicorns? Let's just keep this going. All right. If you guys haven't yet, please join our Discord. It's a good time.
Hey.
We can make fun of who thinks what cryptids are what and who believes them.
Dip with their hands.
The dip.
Oh, dip. Oh, dip. I did not hear dip.
What did you think?
She
Take it for what you-
She heard Mongolian worm.
Yeah, I heard something starfish brain or whatever you said.
It does hell of a good.
Or what is it? Sinking Sam? I don't even remember.
Something like that, yeah.
Usually, if anybody is new, which I don't think we have anyone new in our chat tonight, we usually actually do quite a bit of research and thought in between the movies we talk about. But there's really not much when it comes to cryptids, and it was. a
You
good
gotta
movie.
stop being so hard on yourself because we had a good time.
That was a
Yeah,
good
we
time.
That is all
But-
that
but for-
matters.
I'm just saying, for people that want, like, hey, I thought they talked about movies and movie stuff. We do, but tonight
We
was the
did.
time. And you got to watch me eat dip with my hands, which
We
was
did
gross.
fantastic.
Fantastic and gross, just like cryptid.
Y'all, this is us on a like low. If I say we did pretty fucking good, all right. And
We did
if
pretty
anybody
good.
wants to disagree, I'm gonna sick a fucking dragon on you.
I just realized
Yeah.
I ate during our podcast so much
A
I can't cut it
Komodo
out.
dragon.
I can't cut it out. Like shit, it's gonna be in our thing. Oh,
Oh,
I'm really hungry.
Make sure you follow us on Twitch where we do this live on Adultery and even more chaotic. They're watching
in
us
the
on
live
Twitch.
Twitch, I ate
Make
with my
sure you-
feet. No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I would never do that.
check out the YouTube video version when it drops or the podcast version. Available by podcast, where most podcasts are found: Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Google, the like.
That was a
And
good
if you
plug.
want to
I
help,
love that. That was perfect.
thank you.
You're welcome.
And if you want to support this podcast, you can do so with Patreon. Patreon, we are Patreon, the Patreoners. We have some great patrons. I will scroll them down right here. You're going to see them pop up right here.
Oh.
Fantastic,
I
fantastic
always go the wrong
patrons.
way.
Got it, got it.